Balcones is probably one of most of these distilleries you see before us that are highlighted in your new book, Texas Whiskey. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, man. This is
labor of love here.
Yeah. So it's finally dropping on July 6th.
Cool.
I'm really annoyed because as we sit here filming this, it shows up tomorrow.
Yeah. So it's like, do we have a picture of the book that I can hold up? And if we were shooting this tomorrow,
right,
you would. But I think we have some images that they'll put up here and post, and everybody gets to see how beautiful this book is, and it really is.
I'm sure somewhere along these lines, there's a beautiful image of the cover, which is it's gorgeous.
Very similar to the logo of our show.
It is the logo of our show, basically. I don't know who breached whose copyright, but you know, whatever.
We'll worry about that later.
Doesn't matter. We're all in this together.
In whiskey.
So I about 5 years ago, I teamed up with the San Antonio Cocktail Conference,
right?
And I did a bunch of media stuff for them, and then I kind of helped them head up their education program. So basically what that meant was I would invite people to come do seminars at the San Antonio. And I got a random email from this company called Cider Mill Press, and they basically said, "Hey, we have this cocktail book that we're going to be doing. It's called Texas Cocktails. We like what we've seen from you with the San Antonio Cocktail Conference, and we wanted to know if you would be interested in writing this book." And I said, "Okay." I was a little nervous because the Texas and cocktails aren't real. I mean, we have them here; they're very good.
Right.
We didn't make a lot of them
up. Right.
No. Yeah, that's not our.
This
isn't New Orleans
on existing cocktails.
This isn't
but we
New
don't have
York.
any. Original. Yeah. It was born and bred here in Texas.
Yeah. So I said yes and did some quick research and then went back to them. I'm like, "Hey, so this is going to be 100 different bars and 100 different bartenders and their cocktails." And they're like, "Oh, that sounds great." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'm going to crowdsource a cocktail book."
Nice.
Kick ass. So Texas Cocktails came out 3 years ago. And then at the beginning of 2020, this thing called COVID-19 happened.
I haven't heard about it. Tell me more.
It's a pandemic, Jimmy.
Okay, well, that's a different show. Okay, so yes, and then?
Yes. We'll have a doctor on later to explain what pandemics are and the difference between children and adults, which apparently is confusing. Yes, right. Okay.
This is all the after show.
So COVID hit, and the startup company that I was running, we did it was called Bar Draft. It's still around. It's called Bar Draft. It's draft ready cocktail mixes.
They're lovely.
They're great, and I'm really proud of them. And we were in all of these big, huge accounts, and it's Tampa Bay Stadium and at the Venetian. And
I remember having a celebratory party with you as we were watching like a McGregor fight or something, but that was when we signed the contract and was like, we made it, and we all celebrated it, and we were like, we thought you'd finally turn the corner with this thing. I remember that,
and then all of a sudden the people who invested in our company were like, "Hey, so you're not our core competency, so we're not going to give you any more money. Sorry, bye." And that was it. And so I was like, So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to do any of this right now. I want to kind of take a step away. There's a pandemic going on. I'm going to email my publisher and say, "Yo, you need to let me write a book about Texas whiskey." And I did.